Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. Thought we would open up with a shot of the track. Did some changes to the layout a few weeks ago. I think we finally finalized and settled on this layout. There's two slight versions of the same layout, and I think we kind of like this one. It's a little shorter, but I think the flow is really, really nice. So I thought I would open up with that picture, the track cam. It's a little dark. I've got some lights off. It usually washes out pretty bad. So I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Hopefully over the weekend you had a chance to get some track time in. We did on Sunday. It wasn't really planned, but ended up spending some time. We actually raced. Dusty and John Mark came over, and we actually did a Group 5 race. And we didn't really talk about the winner, mainly because we were all basically on the same number of laps. So, and one of the things about Smart Race is it does not do like analog racing well, like a round robin type of situation, which is one of the things that kind of from a feature request. I feel like there's more and more people taking advantage of the analog timing in Smart Race, and it would be nice to be able to do a round robin style where everybody drives both lanes or however many lanes you have, and be able to operate like most clubs are doing out there. So the expectation with Smart Race is that you're running digital, and it's definitely set up for that. But it would be nice to be able to easily do a round robin tournament in that format. So let's go to the chat and see who we have. Hey, Danny, welcome. Hey, Jim, good to have you. Cyberg, good evening. Happy Tuesday. And John, all right. I'm on time for once. You must have had your coffee today, John. You're on top of it. Hey, Gene, welcome. George has been busy today. George sent me a little video clip of his table build. He's building a wood track. And so you guys need to watch Area 51 Raceway NC, his channel on YouTube. If you're not following, go follow him. He's building his own wooden track, an oval track, and that's pretty cool, and kind of using the channel to highlight that. So right now he's building the table. It looks good, George. I'm excited to see what, and then maybe I'm excited to see what you end up with, and I'm excited to maybe get down there sometime and race on it. So, Gene, I would agree. Oh yeah, Gene, I'm going to let you down. Just so you know, I'm just going to get that out up front. No special guests. Nobody's racing on the track during the show. Mainly because it's $40 a month for Ecamm to be able to do the interviewers. And my channel is not, it's not making $40 a month. So my wife was complaining about that charge to our debit card every month. So that doesn't stop me from doing an interview, but it does get a little expensive. So yeah, let's see who else we have. Hey, Dan, welcome. Glad you're here. Duvall, welcome. Hey, Gene. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. Hey, Sean Casey. What's up, man? What's going on, Daryl? Daryl, you need to get that Mustang, man. All 4 of them, or however many you pre-ordered. You need to get those on the track, because I'm curious to see. Everybody's. We might talk about this. We talked about it last week because it was brand new, but spent some more time with it over the weekend. The Thunderslot Mustang is a legit car, guys. If you don't have one, make sure you grab one. I have a feeling they won't last very long, this initial run, but I'm sure it won't be the last model we see from Thunderslot on that platform. Really good platform. We talked about it the other day. I imagine we'll touch on it a little bit tonight. John Albright and I have been, John's been sharing tuning advice on what he's been doing to his, and there's a couple things I still need to do to mine. Just haven't had a chance. So, hey, Steven, welcome. Hey, Orville. Yeah, that was a great chat last night. That was a lot of fun. Harry was fantastic. Really enjoyed that conversation immensely. I was having computer problems, and I was a little late. I missed the first part of the conversation. But, yeah. Hey, Slot Journal. Good to have you. Gerardo. Welcome. Hey, John Mark. Yeah, that is an awesome-looking track. Thanks to you and Dusty. We have a lot of borders. Hey, Johnny Pro. Welcome. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. That means a lot. Let's see here. That would be a good idea to integrate. Oh, you're talking about your wood track in your channel. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Steve, your power was out earlier, but it's back on. That's good to have you. You getting a bunch of snow. Is that what I heard you say? Curry Road, what's the topic tonight? Curry Road, I don't know. We might dive into my Legends car a little deeper. My brother made a comment on my Instagram account. I posted a little video out there on Instagram, and the thing was flying. And I thought so too. So maybe we'll tear into that tonight. I really didn't come with a big agenda. I don't know. We get so much news now for slot cars with Dave's on Friday, and then Travis is doing news every day. We could probably talk about the Shadow. That seems to be the hot topic now that the Thunderslot Mustang's made it out and in public and in people's hands. Maybe we talk about the Shadow. I don't know. I'm excited about the Shadow. I think I've shared that story before. Hey, Brian, welcome. And it is Wednesday down here. Yeah. So it was Thursday last week when I went live. Oh, boy. Steve, 20 degrees and still falling. Welcome to come by. Yeah, I mean, it's just, right around the corner, George. But no, it would be fun to make a trip. I'm meeting so many great people, and I've getting a lot of people sending me messages wanting to come race on the layout. And so I got to figure out how to make that happen, yet not not upset my wife too much with a bunch of people she doesn't know come traipsing through the front door. So we'll figure that out, though. I would love especially some of you guys that are fairly close to me. Joseph reached out this week. We've been trying to get Daryl here. Josh stopped by last week, which was really cool to have somebody new on the layout. So yeah, looking at a way to do that. Again, my sponsor, Rost Coffee. Trent and I have talked about moving my layout for a day over to the coffee shop and hosting an event there. And so that might be fun. I don't know if that would look like what that would look like exactly. I've talked a little bit about it before. We've had multiple conversations. Just really need to find a date to throw it out there. I'm kind of letting all the race seasons end up. I mean, some of like Cincy Slots is there's only 2 weeks of the season left. The race season. I don't know what Dayton's like or some of the others, so I don't want to bump into other tracks, other clubs, and mess with their schedule. But we'll probably throw some Sunday, kind of an all day thing. Maybe we'll see. So that's kind of still in the works. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate that. How did you split the screen with Dave? Raul is using the same thing I'm using, Ecamm Live. It's a piece of software that helps you do live streams, and you have the ability to bring to send a link out for people through their browser, so they don't have to have the software. You just, as long as you have a webcam, you're good. Let's see. Hey, Garage of Slot Cars. Welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you stopping by. Hey, Scott. Hey, Todd. Ordered 8 Ford Race and Ford to remind me what they looked like before I wrecked them. Speaking of wrecked cars, I always joke about my 908. Here's my NSR 908. If you look closely, tips of the wing are broken off. Everything in the rear is gone. So the engine plastic, everything, it's gone. And that's probably because Dusty rear-ended me. Maybe not. I don't know. So when I had a chip in this thing, and it was a digital car, and I actually had a magnet in it, it flew around this track. But when you crash, I destroyed that car. So, Daryl, I get it. So Ford to race and Ford that stay pretty. That's why I want that other 908, the new livery that they come out with, because I don't think you can find this one anymore. I think it's sold out. But yeah, that's a good one. Could you review how tight you have? Sean, are you talking about on the Mustang? Yes, we can break that down. And then there's other people in the chat that I know that have probably tuned theirs a little different than I have. But yeah, I can walk through that. That's actually a great idea. A joy to tune and drive. You're talking about the Mustang. Yep. Hey, Chris, welcome. Hey, Dusty. You're not that late to the show. We're 10, 12 minutes in, and I'm way down. I'm still. Sunday will appreciate the borders. Let's see. Hey, Danny Thompson. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hey, Gladstone. Lurk about, man. No worries. Yeah, Garage of Slot Cars. I really do love the new layout as well. I think that I have a picture of it someplace. Where's it at? I think if I share my screen, I think I can. Let's see, web browser. How did I do that? Oh, I could just go there. Let's do that. Softy Bond. We've talked about this planner, softyroyal.de. Final 2023 layout restructure, I think is what I've got it named. I'll add the colors so everybody can see. Oops. Plus. Minus. Okay. Here we go. Web browser. That should bring it up. Here we go. So let me turn the colors on so you can see the colors. So my table is 24 feet long, 8 feet wide. You can see I got a little overhang. I reworked that inner turn coming out of the front stretch past the start-finish line, which caused me to restructure a couple of the things so I didn't have track overlapping. But, yep, there's what the final layout looks like, Garage of Slot Cars. And if anybody wants that, I can send a link to that for any reason. I've actually had a handful of people reach out to me and ask for it on Instagram, which I thought was interesting. Let's see. Where's the link? And the link is, there it is. So here's the link. And so if anybody wants to massage this for their own use, no problem. And I'll go back to here. So yeah, I'll throw this in the chat. Maybe if I can find the chat. Yeah, Legends rock with the Nomag. I agree. See, good idea, Daryl. Round the fins off to make them match so they look like you have a unique version of the car. Yeah, that's funny, Daryl. Yes, I probably need to do some repair. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate the shout out. Let's see here. Hey, Ronan. Welcome. MP. What's up? Mossmo put out a great video today about the, actually, put out a video today about this car. And I'll be curious to see. That's not my car. That's my brother's car. He left it here. So I just kept it on display. But that's a great video. Mossmo, you did a great job. And then I can't wait to see you do some tuning on it and see how that thing gets around the track. Because you have your Challenger, that carried Team USA in the World Cup, man. That car was fast. It always surprised me. Let's see here. So there's, let's see, so what, can you name the colors for the track pieces? Yes, Johnny Pro. I can do that. The yellow are 230. The blue are 415. The green are 330s. There are no reds, so there's no R1s, but those would be like a burgundy color in that track planning software or that website. And then I can give you the details of how many, how much you need of everything, if that's something you're interested in. So. Okay. Somebody was calling a bunch of us in the chat on Facebook Messenger phone. I don't know who that was. I apologize. I did not answer. I'm in the middle of a live stream. So Johnny Pro, I hope that helps you. Yes, yellow 230, green 330, blue 415. And then you can tell the difference between the quarter straights and the third straights. Just count the dashes. 2 dashes versus 3 dashes, I think. And there's a dark gray and light gray. But, yep. Yes, the Iron Man. Let's see, just watch the latest MP before tuning it. Yeah. Yeah, good. That's that's a good video. It is a sled. It's a good-looking sled, man. I think if you did what Daryl did and lower it a little bit, because it rides pretty high on the top, but if you could get that thing a little lower to the ground, tucked in. I know it looks like it did back then, what Roadrunners look like. Kirby Road going to change up. My Riva Slot Porsche is not a fan of my high banks. Yeah, so now, yeah, that's kind of why we eliminated the high bank. The high bank may come back. We jump back into doing a lot of, this summer we may jump back into doing a lot of digital racing. But right now we're kind of doing a lot of analog racing because of racing at Cincy slots. So. Oh, what did I miss? Brass chassis time for the Superbird. Yeah, I think MP, that might be a good thing down the road. But get it tuned up first. But yeah, that'd look good on a brass chassis. Hey Gary, welcome. Yeah, no problem, Johnny Pro. No problem at all. Mr. Bonger 888. How's it going, man? Yeah, R1s are rough with no mag. I mean, I had an R1 in that turn coming out of the front straight, and it was fine on the outside lane, but it created such a difference in the lanes for the inside lane. And it's funny that now that I made those changes, the inside lane is now the fast lane, and the outside lane is the slow lane by just a few tenths of a second. So it's good to have two very competitive lanes, because it really helps mentally for the person in the slow lane. You can actually keep up with the other person. So Gary, welcome. Let's see here. Marty, did you buy the green and white Shadow? I have the Shadow on pre-order through Raul. He's got the connection with Ernie, and so he. So, oops, what was that for, Bruce? I missed it. Oh, maybe you're referring to when I was talking about racing. Yeah, I've got some bodies that need a brass chassis, but haven't built up the nerve yet. Ronan, I'm a little intimidated by building my own chassis as well. One, I'm afraid that it'll drive down the track crooked. Getting things square sometimes is not my forte, and so I know you have to use that jig. But I'm a little intimidated by the whole. I was feeling a little better after listening to Harry talk last night, but yeah, the whole brass chassis soldering. I want a car to run good, and I'm not sure that I can build a chassis that's works well enough that the car runs well. So just do it. Thanks, Danny. Oh, thanks, Dusty. Yeah, no, I didn't forget about Trent. We'll talk about him later. Hey, Phil, welcome. Yeah, Shadow is an all black Can-Am car. I went and looked. There are a couple of liveries, so I did a little bit of research on the Shadow, and what an interesting car. But there's a black that's getting released, all black, and then there's one that's black with orange, like 3-tone, yellow, orange, red stripes maybe that kind of follow the contour of the car from the back to the front. I've seen pictures of that, and then I've seen one that was all white, kind of an inverse of the all black, but I don't know if that was a real picture or not. Yeah, Ronan, that's a good place to start. Go to Harry's channel, go to George's channel, go to Shotgun Dave's channel. There's awesome. Shotgun Dave did a video, was it last week, about creating a mold for a body. That was fascinating. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. The grip gets much better in the summer for non-mag. Yeah, if your track warms up, I guess. My basement is climate controlled, so I mean it's not. It gets a little chilly in the winter, but I do notice that times get a little quicker when the track is warm. So, hey Bruce, that was interesting. Oh, so it was Bruce. Bruce tried to give us a call. Steven, what is my guardrail material? My guardrail is made out of, I don't like the Carrera guardrail. It gets brittle and cracks and breaks. And it's a lot of red and white, right? You can get the red Carrera. That I think that looks a little better than the stripes. But I used a heavy poster board and cut strips. I think they're 2 inches tall. And then I took and printed a bunch of, I got the full sheet 8.5 by 11 Avery labels, and I printed color advertising on it, on stickers, and I stuck those stickers on that poster board to create my guardrails. And then I used the mini binder clips to clip them on. It's not perfect, but it works really well, and it's easily repaired. And if you need to, you just cut another 2-inch strip of poster board and you add you add your guardrail. So, but I did watch Slot R, who's probably not on here. He's probably in bed asleep, which is where he should be. And he'll text me tomorrow and say, yes, I was asleep. That's what he did last week. He has a great video on some fantastic guardrail. And so there are some sections that I'm interested in building his guardrail. It's a great thing. So hopefully, Stephen, that answers your question. Yes, Ronan, definitely binge Harry and George's videos more than once. Eric, welcome. Yep. Let's see. Hey, Tim. Tim's been posting a lot of videos going racing at some wooden tracks, running those flexi cars. That's pretty cool stuff, Tim. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see here, Steven. I feel the same as far as the Carrera rail. It just, I don't know. Like, you bounce off it a couple times, it pops them out. I've looked for some 3D printed stuff, and there's some really nice guardrail 3D printed that's like a mesh fence and light poles. And I thought that would be awesome on the high bank, but now that I don't have the high bank, yes, Dan, I agree. Slot R's guardrail is really cool. Yes, that is the speaker wire guardrail. Yeah, I think Boone has done a video on that. Slot R did a video on that. I think there are some other people that have done it too. Yeah, it looks really, really good. 1 1/8 inch lattice from Lowe's makes great guardrail. I found, Sam's Club used to print like hardboard posters, and it was a heavy plastic sheet of poster board. And I've been looking for that. I think that would make fantastic guardrail because it would definitely not tear or rip. But I can't find it. And Sam's Club have closed all their print shops and all their Sam's Clubs. So I have not been able to track that down. I'm sure it's on Amazon. White lattice replacement strips from Lowe's and use those same binder clips. A white lattice. I don't know what you're referring to. I'll have to do some research on that. I really need to get a track. Just not ready to dump the money for an 18x7 yet. And Danny, I would look hard at the Polycar 4-lane starter set, because you could buy one starter set and run it 2 lanes, and you get a bunch of R2 and R3s in that starter set. There are no R1s in the top level starter set. That might be pretty good. And then you could go to Slot Car Corner and order the track wiring kit, and then you could make driver stations and use your analog controllers. That's for the sheds. It's in plastic. It works great. Okay, cool, Kirby. I will check it out. Because I do have some guardrail that's looking pretty rough that I need to replace. I know where 24 pounds of Polycar is. The white lattice is PVC, should bend well. Okay. But it's not lattice like the I don't know how to, like the lattice work, like for the garden. Do you cut that lattice and use that? Oh, maybe now I'm seeing it. 1/4 inch thick white craft foam cut into 1/7/6 strips. Make a nice looking soft barrier. Yeah, that's sort of what I've got going on here with the poster board. It's pretty easy on the cars when you bounce off of it. Oh, so Dan must have been referring to Danny about the track. I got it. But I'm super happy with my Carrera track. No lie. because I enjoy all of the digital racing. So they sell it in strips, the lattice already cut. Awesome. I will go check it out. And that would be easy to put stickers on to decorate. And the plastic would last a lot longer. Strips, not lattice. Got it. Johnny Pro. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Everybody has lots of R1s because that's what comes with starter sets. And if you have a small layout, you can't escape R1 turns. So, it kind of is what it is. It's not a bad thing. R1 turns are not bad. It's just that they really throw off a car. And one of the things that I discovered is putting an R1 in between two R2 turns really upsets a car. And so it's pretty much almost a stopping point. You kind of got to slide around the turn, and then once you clear the R1 turn, you're back in the R2, then you can gun it. But that's it. Phil, I have 90 feet of Carrera track running 132 digital at about 10 seconds a lap with the majority of my cars. Still trying my best to tune my cars. Any suggestions? Phil, there are lots of people in this chat that are very, very good tuning Carrera cars. Harry Wise, you've heard us talk about him a lot. He has a lot of Carrera tuning videos. So you could probably search for one of your cars that you already own out there on YouTube and find a tuning video specific for that car, more than likely. The biggest thing people will tell you, and we talked about it the last night, we talked about it almost every live stream, tires are super important. So getting your tires trued so that you have the biggest contact patch, since slot cars don't have suspension, right? So you really have to make sure that your tires are gripping, and that would help. So if you've got 90 feet of Carrera track, so I'm making it around my track, and it's 98 feet. 98 and some change, I think. Just shy of 100 feet. My track record with a magnet car is like 6.1 seconds around the track. Now, that's a lot of magnet. It's, that's a super fast magnet car. Now, my track record for no mag is 8.1 and some change. And that's my fastest. So I'm knocking on the door of under 8 seconds with a no mag car. I feel like that's getting around, 97, 98 feet of track. So you've got some room to improve those cars for sure. So you can do a lot of things. Improve your tires. You can add magnet, which helps them stick in the corners a little bit, so you can carry more speed through the corners, but it will slow them down too. So maybe a lot of times it's magnet placement. You can add weight to cars, and it's adding weight in the right places. So depending on what the car's doing, you can kind of figure out where to add the weight. If it's really tail happy and likes to drift out, maybe you put a little more of your weight towards the front to try to keep that from happening. Sometimes it's weight, behind the rear axle because you just can't get traction. So there's a lot of things that go into that. But you're in the right place if you want to learn how to tune cars, not from me, but from all the guys in this chat. So, hey, Bill Royal, welcome. Let's see, what else did I miss, Eric? But digital lane change curves are all R1, correct? Eric, yes. The digital lane changing curves. Those are the curves that you have to be careful, and you have to rewire if you get a tech slot box. So if Joseph was on, he could tell you all about that, because that will mess up your tech slot box, because those track pieces, those digital track pieces, are wired together internally. Let's see. I haven't gotten a guardrail yet. I'm printing aprons to keep cars on the track. The aprons, shoulders, borders, all of those things. I recommend getting them. It's the best thing that we've done to our track, was add all those borders, because it really gives you some space. One, if you come out of the slot, you have some space before you crash into the guardrail, so your car has a chance to slow down. We tend to have fewer cars flying off the table because of the borders. It's a good thing to have. It really is. Let's see. George posted something. That's probably a tuning video for Carrera cars. So go check that out, Phil. Let's see. Bill, welcome, Josh. 6.1 seconds with a Skeletric 4GT. Yep, Josh, you own the track record at the moment. My Carrera 917 is just off of you, just so you know. And I've done nothing to that car except put a set of silicone tires on it. No extra magnets in the in the Porsche 917. It's just a fast car. But it's right behind you at 6'2". 6'2" something. I don't have it all memorized. Gary, what grit sandpaper do you use to true your tires first, 200 or 400? That's what came with the CG Tire Truer. Yes, Gary, that's probably a good place to start. If you need to take off a lot. If you need, I think I don't have a tire truer, so somebody else who has one could speak better of this. But when I've done the sanding the tire on the track kind of thing, I've done 200 grit, 250 grit, and then kind of finish them off with I've got some 500 that I just had laying around, and I've used that, and it seems to do pretty good. But that's just kind of scuffing the tires. That is what I'm doing to the tires. Rubber tires is not truing them. So, but I would say that CG put 200 and 400 with the truer for a reason. So I would follow along with that. Josh, that was insane. Yeah, that car was fast, man. Hey, Grand Santa Man, welcome. Let's see. Oh, Tim, if you plan on running 124 cars on your Carrera track, borders are a must, even the inside of corners. Yeah, sorry, I'll throw that up there. I agree. Before, we didn't really have a power supply to run 124 scale. John Mark is the only one that has 124 cars. One is a shelf queen. It will never probably come out of the box. That's the Ken Miles 4GT. But he has a GT40. But he has a Ford GT that we've taken the spin around the track a few times. I need to pick up a 124 scale car or two. But yeah, we've not really gotten into 124 scale, but now we can because we have border all the way around the track except for the back straight. I just didn't have room for it. But yeah, I agree. If you're going to do 124 scale, you have to have borders. You can get away with it with 132nd scale, but if you do a lot of side-by-side racing, even 132nd scale, it really helps to have at least the outside borders. But adding the inside borders, it just really makes the track look fantastic. And the one thing I will say, I'll throw this out and somebody tell me whether you agree with me or not. I feel like Carrera, they put the striping on the wrong side of the border. On the inside borders, on the inside shoulders. I think that the red and white striping should be near the lane instead of on the edge. I understand why they did what they did, but it would make it feel more like a racetrack if on that inside turn, that car's tires are close to the berm, right? Close to that curbing. And that's what that red and white stripe is supposed to represent. So I feel like they should have, on the inside curb, they should have put it on the inside, not the outside. I know it looks more uniform on the outside, but I think that it would for the realism. I see a lot of guys when they repaint their track, that's what they do. Oh, the dogs have entered the chat. But I see that they paint that, and I really like Sebring with the white and blue striping. So it would be fun to maybe restripe some of the track to match it with Sebring. Le Mans may have some of that blue and white striping too. So, all right, moving on. What does everyone do for adding weight, like the front of the car? Do you actually use for your weight? Todd Driver. Somebody may have already answered this. Let's see. You can buy sheets of lead at different thicknesses that has mounting tape already on one side. And that is the easy way to add lead. Now, we also use tungsten putty, mainly because it's really easy to move around and it sticks. So tungsten putty is just kind of expensive weight. But the lead is pretty cheap. Josh and Marty need to race and video a track record race. Yeah, with the magnets. Yeah, those cars fly around there on the magnets, man. I imagine there's some other people that could have some cars that probably could break that track record too. Yep. Tim, lead sheets with 3M tape. What did John say? 200 to cut the tires down, 400 to finish them. Thanks, John. John has a truer, a couple truers probably. So I would do what he says. 124th is fun because of the availability of models in 125th scale. Yeah, if you're doing some scratch building. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. You agree. Thanks. Lightface. And Carrera is wide track, so polycar and Scalextric borders become more important, Scaly in particular. Yeah, I think that you really, because of how narrow and the lanes are so much closer, there's a lot of bumping when you're racing side by side. You really need those borders. Because what happens is your rear tire will swing out, and as soon as it loses grip and drops off the edge of the track, that car is out of the slot. Just the height difference between the track and the table. Yeah, that's it. White and blue rumble strips look awesome. Indy Motor Speedway uses them too for the road course. Yes, Josh, you're right. I think that, Eric, thanks for making me feel good agreeing. I just think it would look good. So I was thinking about maybe doing that to some of my inside turns, just repainting the rumble strips on the inside of the inside border to get it closer to the slot. Just because I think it would look good, especially if I painted the whole track. But that's a lot of work. I'm not sure I'm willing to do. Let's see. And shouldn't have dotted lines down the middle of the track. Yeah, Mark, you're probably right. You're probably right. You probably should not have lanes. But that's all right. But we understand why they do that. But you're right. That's why a lot of guys paint their track. Yeah, Grand Sandman tungsten putty. Bill, I was asking what grit. Okay, yeah, we already took care of that. Lead weight. There's a link to lead weight. Tungsten putty is great for figuring out the amount, but some of it melts easier than others with heat. Yeah, John, that's what I've found is they, when it gets really warm, that putty will move a little bit. So that's kind of what I do is I use the putty to figure out how much weight and see how it runs, and then I usually replace that with lead, and then move that putty onto another car. And so I'm always using the putty. I actually stole a little piece of it from Dusty, and it's been in about 4 different cars at this point. It's really handy. I might know a 914 that would be a contender. There you go. The tire truer shipped today. Look at that. Marty, send the wife on vacation. We'll all come and play cars. Dan, that's actually a great idea. And she actually has a trip planned later this year, so maybe that's how I host it. The problem is man, if we got 10 guys in this basement, it would get really busy really quick, because the track takes up a lot of this room. There are other rooms, so it's not that there wouldn't be room to move around, but I would have to move my YouTube studio and open this space up to make room. So, hey, welcome, Shotgun Dave. Let's see, a tight track puts a premium on tuning. Yeah, I would agree. And watch some of John's stuff that he posts on Home Racing World. His cars fly around that Scale Electrics track. You do a great job tuning. Straights can be reversed, so you only have to do curves. Gotcha. Let's see here. What's up, Shotgun Dave? Hey, great video on making the mold, man. I was fun. I enjoyed watching it. Now I'm thinking about the box of models that I have in my basement that I built when I was a kid. It might be fun to, I think one of them, Dusty, do you have it or do I have it? The Henry J. I think that would make an awesome slot car, a Henry J body. So anyway, Ronan, what do you prefer, tires, quick slicks or Paul Gage for career track? Ronan, we're running silicone tires, mainly because we've not had a truer to true the urethanes. So I have a feeling that we'll do some testing with urethanes and probably rubber now that Dusty's got a tire truer coming. So we'll probably experiment more with our tires. We went silicone because they come pretty good right out of the package, new, and yeah, it was working for us because we didn't have a truer. But now that we have a truer coming, that might change a little bit. Kirby Road, talking about finger training doesn't hurt either. Yeah, I would agree, John. It just helps getting laps in, man. I think the more laps you can get, the better you get at the controller. Using the same controller, that's one of the things that we've got. We've got three different controllers going on here at the track, and they each feel a little different. And so I think that's one of the things is consistency with your controller. On subject of track painting, what is the best paint to use? I know a lot of guys that just hit it with the primer. I don't think I have a can of it around. I did it one time. The Rust-Oleum primer, and a lot of times that's all they do is just hit it with the primer. I've heard people talk about latex paint, just trying to get some grip. I read some information the other day. I was doing some research on, I have a friend who has a large format CNC machine. And so I was doing some searches for CNC wood track patterns or layouts. And I really only found one website, and there's a guy just north of Detroit, Michigan, that has a CNC shop that they have one design that you can buy, and that for them to make. But I'm looking for a pattern to make. But on their website, they had a great PDF about painting your wood track, and I would say that it would carry over to plastic track as well, as long as the paint sticks to the plastic. As long as you prep, like anything, as long as you prep your surface properly, I think you could probably use just about anything, as long as it's the track's prepped. So Kirby Road, that didn't really answer your question, but I know some guys spray it, some guys roll it, some guys brush it. I think there's a lot of different ideas when it comes to painting. I would say that Home Racing World forums probably has some articles out there. I've used wheel weights for adding weights to cars, but they do need a little more room inside the slot car to fit. I just had them on hand and they work well. Cool. Yeah, like car wheel weights. Yeah. I've used little lead like you get the lead kits for Pinewood Derby cars from Hobby Lobby in a pinch. I have some of that stuff, that lead laying around. But the self-stick sheets that you can cut with scissors, that's your best bet when it comes to weight. I'm going to try sealing the putty with shoe goo or super glue when I get the weight set up. Gotcha. Curvy Slot Journal says just plain Lex to nothing fancy. Good. I'm glad that people have had good luck with that. John Albright, yes. The SRC that John Mark is referring to, the 914, is an SRC. And he did not leave it. That's his pride and joy. He takes that everywhere he goes. It's a fast little car. Boone has some great videos on track painting. Excellent. Let's see. Gosh, I can hardly keep up with the... Thanks, Gladstone. I appreciate that. Let's see. What else do we have? 6 guys racing, 4 marshalling in your basement. Yeah. 10 might be the max number that I could fit down here comfortably without having issues. I've got plenty of room for pit areas. I've got a big table where my podcast recording studio is, which is back around the corner. And that's 12 by 14 room, 14 by 14 room, something like that. It's decent size. I've got a big, 6 foot by 6 foot table in there. So you got plenty of area for, probably 6 pit boxes on that table. I've got some other rooms. I got a furnished room over here. That's got some space. It's not well lit, but so I can make it work. Again, I could move my live stream stuff and make room for the race day. So maybe we'll have to do that. Oh yeah, man, shotgun. Definitely that Dave, that will be, people will refer to that video for a long time. Corvair bodies. Interesting, Dan. I never even thought about the Corvair as a slot car. That might be kind of fun. Yeah, here's the story. It came out of the War Eagle collection, that little 914. We got a lot of tuning hints off of that car when we first started tuning cars, didn't we, John Mark? We looked that one over because it's hooked up. It flies around the track. It's fast. Sounds like a little bee running around. Yep. Yeah, we've heard that. I was curious, did he just get out of slot cars altogether when he sold his collection? Kind of hate to hear that. Hey, Marty, the best wall border fence is made by Professor Motor. I have written this. Go back. I can't write it all again. Sorry, Steve. I didn't mean to. I've skipped through a bunch of the chat because I'm running behind. I have looked at that border from Professor Motor. So you like that? I've not ordered any, but I'll definitely take a look at that again. And whoever was looking for borders earlier, that's something to check out. So yes, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. And I didn't mean to ignore your messages. I think I've ignored a lot of them. There's a lot of activity in the chat, so I apologize. Please know that I don't do any of that on purpose, guys. I've had better results with silicone tires on Carrera track. True Paul Gauge tires are decent, but do wear down eventually. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Let's see. Slot Journal. It's okay, Steve. We read it all 6 times. It's all good, man. No harm, no foul. Boone has 3 videos on painting track. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Let's see. Yeah, wear is part of the game with urethane and rubber. Yeah. Yeah, people talk about the NSR rubber. A lot of people like that, but it wears pretty quick. It's all in the case there. Oh, is the case here? Hold on. I'll go pull the 914 out. Oh, yeah. Little show and tell. Here's the 914. John Mark. Yeah, that's a good running little car, man. So right now it's set up for digital. I installed a Slot Technic chip, and so it's ready to roll. It does have one issue, and maybe the guys here can tell us how to fix it. It does have an issue with the rear axle pops out of the chassis anytime you bump it. You don't have to bump it very hard. But yeah, that's a great livery. Cool little car, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's quick and handles great. It's planted to the track really well. So, yeah, I didn't realize it was still here. In limited time running non-mag is a great way to learn throttle control and really fun. Brad, I agree. I saw your post where you ran the C8 Corvette non-mag for a while. And at first I didn't like it. I admit I've talked about it before. Didn't like it. I was used to magnets. I liked the way magnets drove and how I felt like we were marshalling less. And then we went racing at Cincy Slots and realized that I started to feel the car a little bit in the controller, and that really changed things for me. That it really made it a lot of fun. Daryl has a couple War Eagle River cars. That's cool. Did you ever win with those cars, Daryl? Let's see. Just made silicone mold for 29 Model A Roadster while watching your show and soldering brass. Nice. That's awesome, Danny. You're getting a lot of work done. That's called multitasking. It is a flat pan. It does not have the suspension, John. It's great on curves and banks. Yeah, I bet. Slot Car Man Cave and Slot Car Space Solutions have a few border options. Thanks, MP. If somebody finds them, I'll put a link out there. Let's see. One of each, both nice runners. Cool. John gets his own room for slot cars there. Well, okay. I'm going to roll this here. Let me see if I can get it into focus. This whole shelf, this is all John Mark. And he still has a few more in his own room back there. But this is all his stuff. He does have the most important in the collection, the Golf Livery VW bus, the Splitty. There's a lot of golf stuff going on here. He does have this. This is nice. The slotted M12 or the 512M. Yeah, he goes after the fast cars. There's the Mosler. Even the Golf Legend. This is the new NSR that just released last month. This is a great car. So yeah, he's got his own shelf here. Yeah, the 914 with a broken axle. Yeah, line face. It is the 914 is a great car. Excellent car. Dusty, hate that car. Buzz. That's funny. Why don't Carrera Digital make a CU track where you can hit a switch to make it run analog? Um, Gary, I think that you had a bunch of, for years and years, Carrera made analog track. And then, I don't know, early 2000s, they came out with the digital. Um, and, it's just the route they went. It didn't seem important to them, probably. And they probably didn't think about the fact that people have a bunch of analog cars. Maybe they did, and they just wanted them to buy into the new system. But that's where the tech slot box comes in really handy, or the Omni slot box. Or there are people who just figured out the wiring and rewired it themselves. So glue the bushing in place, either UV or a touch of CA on the tip of a straight pin. There you go, John Mark. There's your answer. I think that's what we thought about doing, and we're afraid to glue it. He does have 2 more in boxes over here, but they're not. It's the same chassis, but it's not the race car. It's just the standard 914s, but the chassis is the same, but they've got the skinny tires, and it's definitely not set up to race. The race liveries. But we thought about swapping out. Hey, Jamie, can anyone tell me what the best border wall fence for Carrera happens to be? That's funny. Yeah, go back and read in the chat. There's all kinds of information about borders. Bushing stop leads to a wheel hop. Okay. Bruce won't let me race them, Marty. That's funny. Daryl, I have my own analog shelf too. That's what I was showing off. Let's see here. What else? Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm late. Hey Conquest, no worries, man. No need to be sorry. You're a busy man. Busy man. So glad to have you. Glad you took time to stop in. The trash talking in the chat is the best. Danny Thompson, has anybody made a brass frame for Legends yet? Just reusing the Legends body and replacing that with a brass chassis? I don't know. It's such a small chassis. But I thought that it might be cool to make one that had a motor pod somehow. And so I guess you could do that in a brass chassis. That might be a fun project. I bet there's some guys in here that have done that. Let's see. Shapeways chassis, Legends car, very fast. Oh, Daryl, so you have, is that a 3D printed chassis? Does it have a motor pod? Shapeways. 3D printing, marketplace, material. Shapeways 3D printed chassis. Okay, gotcha. Oh, Shapeways, are those the guys that are doing the Hoonigan cars? I kind of forgot all about those because I did not order one, but I really wanted the Hoonicorn. Just hot glue the bearing on John's car. Okay. Thanks, Bruce. Is Mossman, did MP spend a bunch of money on Billy's live stream tonight? Hot glue everything on Dusty's car when he's not looking. That's funny. So going back to Danny, brass chassis maybe, but Shapeways definitely has a 3D printed chassis, and it sounds like that runs pretty good. But I know that a lot of tracks, when they run Legends, if you're running at a club, they kind of run it as a spec class, and you can't really change anything. But you have to repair the guide. You have to fix that problem. Let's see. The UV chips away fairly easily. You'll have to be able to pop the bushing out using CA as long as you don't overdo it. Gotcha. Steve will always be infamous for using the M word. Magnets. Let's see. Hey, Sunday. Wait for one more week. Well, I missed your live stream tonight. The other night, I would have bought a 124 scale DTM because I need one for Thursday night. And I would have bought one because it went for cheap, and John Bacon figured out how to bid. He bid on it before I could even figure out how to bid. So sorry about that. Maybe next time. So welcome, Sunday Slots. Thanks, Billy. Yes. Daryl, you put a Piranha motor in it too. How many K the 22.5 motor? Oh no, you said Piranha. Not Predator. The Piranha motor. Gotcha. Yeah. Marty, 10 guys in your basement, $100 per man throwing some beer. You can make some good cash. That's funny, Richard. Richard, you didn't have to pay me $100 to race on my track. I just need to come up with a race night and invite some guys over. I just ordered some stuff off Shapeways today. Very good. Let's see here. So John Albright, you were looking at doing a tuning fork for a little Ford Coupe. That's cool. Someone in this chat bought a lot of stuff, I'll tell you that. Massimo. Sounds like he got in trouble. Bidding on a little too much stuff. John Bacon. I wouldn't want that car to go to a better guy, John. Plus, I'm not sure that I could get it from Canada in time for Thursday night race night. Harbor Freight super glue. So has anybody used that super glue? Because I almost bought some there last week when I bought my my tachometer. Hey, Bruce, by the way, great video on the tack on the 124 scale dyno. That was very interesting. Thanks for doing that. I know that I kind of spurred that up when I was asking about dynos a few weeks ago. So I appreciate you going through that. That was very interesting. MP, it actually wasn't you this time. So if it wasn't you, then it's probably Raul. So MP, I think it's funny that you won the giveaway from Billy, and Billy won the giveaway from you. So you guys just traded slot cars. That's great. Gladstone, CA is super glue. Or California. Depends on what mood Customs is in. Okay, thanks, Billy. That's good to know. I mean, at that price, I could have afforded the shipping. Maybe. Hey, Mad P, 3D. Hi from British Columbia. Yeah, no worries, man. That was really good. I appreciated it. It was a great video. I cannot go near what I ended up wanting to buy everything. Raul, you already had an expensive day today. You should have stayed off of Billy's. That's great. All right. I feel bad. Somebody jumps in on this live stream and they have no idea what context, especially since the live chat doesn't show up for like 24 hours. Don't go there. All right. Gosh, it's 10 after 9. Have we accomplished anything in this live stream tonight? I was thinking about tearing down my Legends car, but I don't know. Is there something you guys want to talk about? We've kind of jumped all over the place, but I feel like that's every week. Billy always laughs that Marty comes with great plans and then the chat derails all my plans, and that's great. That's what I love about doing this live stream, is because you just never know where we're going to go. So yeah, good stuff. You regretted your trash talking. That's great. Good stuff. So yeah, my Legends car, Thursday night. I'll hopefully find out on Thursday. I need to talk to Dusty, see if he's still thinking that he might be able to get down to Cincinnati. I'm curious to see how it's going to do on your track, Bruce. I feel like I've got it running pretty good. It could use a couple things. I think the front tires could use trued. But it gets around my track pretty good. It's a fun car. And maybe it's just because I put a lot of laps in. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's right. Stephen, we found out what the best guardrail is. That's right. So we did accomplish something. We have lots of opinions about guardrail, and I have a strong opinion about how Carrera paints their inside shoulders. You're still game. All right. That's good to know. It's like a Grateful Dead concert. They have a huge catalog. You never know what song's going to be on the set list. Between Lego and slot cars, I think I have a major plastic crack addiction, and I relapse too often. I think you're right. Speaking of Legos, I may have shared this last week, but on my podcast, we brought in a guy that's a YouTuber, and his channel is about Legos, and he came bearing gifts. So he gave me the Aston Martin, the DB5, and the Challenger, Dom's Challenger, and I've put the DB5 together. It's at work on my desk with my Lego Ferrari 512M, but I might put this together later because it looks sweet, man. And then I follow a channel on Instagram that does modifications to all these the Speed Champion sets, and they've made like the unicorn and all kinds of really cool stuff. Sweeney yelling over Marty 6 times. The Speed Champion stuff is so good. Yeah, Lion Face, I agree. Raul needs to get that Skeletrix Lego car from Bruce. That's what I was thinking last night when Bruce was building that Lego car. I actually, Brent Bowers is the kid's name and the guy's name, and I actually sent that to him and said, hey, this is what you need to look for, because he was saying, hey, can you build a slot car that was Lego? I'm like, yeah, I think they actually already do that. So, Chris, the 512 and the Ferrari 512M is sweet. It sits. I've got it on my desk at work. What Skeletrix Lego car I ordered from the UK? Yeah, Bruce showed it off in his live stream last night, and he picked it up in he bought a collection. So that's how he tracked it down. Family. Yeah, the slot car community is feeling like a big family. That's what I'm enjoying it. The Too Fast Too Furious R32 is a fun build. Josh, I actually think my Walmart has that as well. I walked through there on Sunday, and they had a couple sets that were like $16, and that was cheap, and that may have been one of them. Highland in Midwest Slot Car Show, March 19th in Swap. Danny, is that one of them that Dave Kennedy is showing on his Friday streams? His news, the Slot Car Show. They just had one in Cleveland, and it's always on Sunday. And I have a bunch of commitments on Sunday, so I can't get to Cleveland. But it would be fun to go to a Slot Car Show. Mad P finally got his track started. Stay tuned. Fantastic. Mad P, what track did you go with? Are you Carrera? Let's see. Johnny Pro said that he will be there at the Midwest Slot Car Show. That's cool. The 214 Lego car I bought for the Lego City because I am switching the track to Skelectrix 132nd. Imgo, hi Marty, saw something on the chat about glue. So what type of glue can I use for slot car applications that's strong enough but does not leave the white vapor residue? That's good. A good question. It really depends on what you're trying to do, and there's so many different glues out there. So I don't know if anybody wants to chime in. I've used just these little tubes of super glue for certain things. But super glue is one of those that, it's permanent, and sometimes getting it apart is impossible. I'm kind of a big fan of the Gorilla Glue. This stuff works, but it needs water. So you have to kind of dampen both, and it just depends. So a lot of times I'll use this for weight, and maybe there's better. I do like Dusty got a little mini hot glue gun, and so just using the glue sticks and a hot glue gun for something that that you'll have to maybe pull off later. And so like weight is a good one. That's good to use that for. A lot of guys use UV glue. It's an ultraviolet, so it goes on, and then you use the blue light, the ultraviolet light, to cure that glue. So that's UV glue. So I use that for some things. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you cannot use super glue near clear parts because it will cause problems. I have that problem with my slotted GT40. Right there's what super glue will do to your clear windshield. It will no longer be clear. Lesson learned. That car is trashed anyway. So there might as well be one more thing. I've had to glue the body. It was a repair job. That body is busted up pretty bad. Let's see. So never use super glue. Model windshield glue won't leave a fog. So Danny, that was a good show, the Cleveland show. That's cool. I think that Tinker Toys, that channel, is kind of part of that. Puts that show on. That's good to know. Maybe the next time I'll try to get up there for that. I mean, it's already happened this year. It happened early compared to last year, I think. Gorilla Glue is good stuff. Yeah, I really like the Gorilla Glue. We've gone through a couple bottles of that. The E6000 or UV. Peter, I do. I have a tube of that, like the shoe goo, for certain things. Yep. Chris, glue-wise, I've used a lot of shoe goo on the slot cars over the years. E6000. It just takes. It's not. The E6000 bonds quickly, but it takes a while for it to cure. you can't be in a big hurry. Hey, Steve. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. And sorry, I didn't mean to ignore your comments. Let's see here. Cockpit cement for clear parts, but works on other stuff too. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of trial and error sometimes with glue, because there's some glues, like the UV glue doesn't always work on certain parts. But even with the ultraviolet light, it just will not cure. And especially if you're trying to glue something down, I tend to use the UV glue to like go over something or up against something, but between two surfaces, the light doesn't get in there to cure the glue, so it just never dries, never cures. Jumbo shoe goo works well for strip body posts and securing lead. Yeah, that's what I use the shoe goo for, is if I don't have, if the piece of lead, the tape on it's not sticking anymore. Shoe goo will not mess up clear plastic windows. Yeah, I've ruined wristwatch faces with DEET and bug spray. Yeah, it does something to the crystal, doesn't it? Midwest Slot Car Show, Highland. They are having 2 shows, another in November. Excellent. Okay. So is that the one, in Highland? Is that near Cleveland? Was there a lot of 132nd stuff at that show? I see another on April 23rd coming up. You use the Gorilla Glue for calls. True, but it stays a little flexible too, so impact resistant. Yeah, you're talking about the E6000. Replacement glass is available for the GT40. John, I should probably just get a whole new body for it. Because the body's cracked, the windshield is ruined, and the glass falls out all the time. It rattles, shakes. Still gets around the track with 8.6, so it's still quick. It just doesn't, it's not pretty. It doesn't look pretty getting around. There's a knockoff that will act like contact cement. That's cool. Yeah, Cleveland show. Okay, cool. Indiana. Up by North Bend, Indiana. Okay, cool. So if it's up by North Bend, okay, so you're near Chicago. If it's not, yeah, mine's pretty bad, John. I know this is live and hard to censor, but I told you and Dave I would not say the word again. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, man, happy to help. You asked the right crowd. There's a lot of experience in that chat. So you're about an hour west of South Bend. Okay. So I'm glad we could help out with the glue. Hey, everybody, was tiling a bathroom fun? I'll catch up. What I missed later. You missed a lot. A lot about guardrails. Now a lot about glue. That's some good stuff. 30 minutes maybe. Oh, you must be talking about getting to the show. That's really cool. I've thought that it would be fun to put a slot car show together. The problem is the U.S. is a big place. And so unless you have a lot going on in your region for slot cars, you probably won't get a whole lot of people show up. So hopefully those shows do really well. But I know there's still a lot of them going on. Dave advertises them every Friday in his video. And then you got the big UK slot car show, which is kind of like the mothership, going back to the mothership, right? I feel like everything starts in the UK. but because it's so close, it's easier for people to gather there. So it's not too far of a drive. Johnny Pro says he needs some track repair advice. What type of track and what kind of repair? So is that what the oh no, the glue question was from somebody else. You guys, while I'm waiting for him to respond, like for Carrera track, yeah. Yeah, Steven, you don't see much Pacific Northwest. Wish they had a show in Southern Ohio. Daryl, it would take us doing it, I think. If we want one in Southern Ohio, it's probably us that puts it together. Yeah, Chris, I've heard that. That's why I wasn't too disappointed that I missed the Cleveland show, is that it's a lot of HO. Let's see if we posted that. Carrera double lane changer. You're having problems with a double lane changer? Yeah, throw it out there. While we're trying to get that, don't forget about Roast Coffee if you guys are coffee drinkers. I actually last week I did not give the coffee away. It got busy and I forgot to run the contest thing. I was waiting for the live chat to come around so I could pick out of that. So we'll be giving the 2 bags away this week. So remember, our buddy Trent at Roast Coffee, he's gracious enough to hand out. So go to roastcoffee.com and get you some coffee. 25% off if you use 2 lines, all one word, TWOLINES. And I'm getting great feedback for the guys that have won coffee, that they've enjoyed it. It tastes great. And I agree. I drink it just about every morning. I got some new coffee, 1840, that I started drinking on Sunday, and it won't take me long to get through that bag of coffee. That's good stuff, John. Thanks, man. I appreciate you sending that out to me. That was fun. I'm going to share some with Trent too. So, but anyway, 2 lines, 20% off, 25% off your first purchase. And if you're a coffee drinker and want some beans, give my buddy Trent a chance. And he's who I'm talking to about moving my layout over to the coffee shop some Sunday afternoon, and that would be a great place to host a race. So maybe sometime April, May timeframe is kind of what we're looking at. So just throw that out there. Keep it on everybody's radar. If it won't peel tile off the floor, it's not coffee. Steve, it is a medium roast, the Brazil that we've been sending out people, but he has others. He's got Ethiopian. If you go on the website, you can see all the differences. It works sometimes 15%, but most of the time it doesn't work. The double lane changer. So the first question I have is, where is it located on your track? If it's right after a turn, a drifting car will not trigger that double lane changer in either lane. So that's oh, John, I did ask him about 2-pound bags, and I think if you contact him directly, I can hook that up. You can order it that way. He doesn't have it through the website that way, but I think that you can get it 2-pound, maybe 5-pound, kind of wholesales it. He changes the price for that amount too. So going back to about 15% of the time, the double lane changer doesn't work. So yeah, I'm curious to know where you have it in your layout. If you move it someplace else, does it work more frequently? So let's like eliminate the fact whether it's a drifting car that misses the light, or if it is a problem with the actual lane changer unit itself. If I run a ghost and it comes up to it and wants to change lanes, it will stop a couple of pieces before the changer. Ooh. Yeah, I would say that maybe you've got something electronically going wrong in that double lane changer. I don't know. How brave are you at soldering? Do you open that piece of track up and take a look at the wiring, just inspect it and see? Mark, I've not been to the Baltimore slot car show. Yeah, it seems like some of these slot car shows are very HO oriented, but maybe not in the swap meet part. Yeah, Steven, you're in Tacoma. Let's see here. We've tried to do a trade show at the shop. People did not bring much. Yeah, I just don't know if there's enough people to support something like that. It's tough, Bruce. I get it. You've moved it to many different spots and the same result. Okay. So it's something mechanically wrong in the lane changer. And you've put jumpers before and after. Yeah, I would say that maybe you've got a bad solder joint in one of those connections in that. That's just a guess. If that's not changing it. Yeah, that's Bruce's. I think that's where I'm landing too. You just got some bad luck with that double changer. Has it always done that to you? Since day one, I've got one changer that kind of flakes out every once in a while. It's a right to left, and what'll happen is a left to right. Yeah, it's a left to right, and what'll happen is it will leave the gate. The gate doesn't close, so then the next guy through, you pop up out of the slot. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what it is. You just have hit a bad changer. Have you been to 132nd slot car in Tacoma? Alien Raceway every Saturday, I believe. I've not been to Tim. I've not been there, but I think you're talking to Steven. I'm brave. I've looked into it, and it all looks good. Okay, yeah. So I would say that there's something wrong with the chip that controls it. Yeah, Cliff, man. Take care, man. I'm. It's time to wrap up anyway. Danny always thinking bug. Good poor. Okay. Dusty changed the conversation to bourbon. Yeah, garage of slot car. I think that's if it's new. We had a problem. Dusty bought a controller, a wireless controller, and when we opened it up, it would not sync. And he called Carrera, and they sent us a new one within a couple weeks. So they do take care of their stuff. So that's what I would probably do. Let's see here. Greg is up in that same area. There you go. Bruce is just going to buy it all back from my wife when I die anyway. Yeah, depending on age, contact your store is what Bruce says. Daryl, that's funny. Yeah, Daryl, your wife knows just to call Bruce after you're gone, right? To buy your collection. John Albright, is the lane changer gummed up? Yeah, I mean, hit it with some contact cleaner maybe. I don't know. Daryl, bye. Inherit. How's that? Will it to him. Greg, I had a pit lane that would not work, and Carrera North America replaced it. Yeah, thanks, Greg. Yeah, again, they did a great job replacing the wireless controller. I mean, really, no questions asked. They just sent us a new one. It was great. Yeah, Johnny Pro, it's brand new. Yeah, definitely get that thing replaced. That's good. It's only 6:33 here. Sorry, Tim. 9:33. We've been on for 90 minutes and talked about nothing. They do, Bruce, you're right. They do a great job. They correct issues. That's fantastic. They stand behind their product, which is why we'll continue to buy Carrera cars and stuff from them, because they definitely do that. Yeah, I agree. The ghost car stopping before it gets to the lane changer is that's just weird. I had a problem with one of my lane changers. I put a power tap before it and it worked fine. Yeah, it maybe just wasn't getting enough power, but Johnny Pro says that he did that. He put up one before and after it, and it didn't change it. So, yeah, I just chalk it up to bad one. Bad lane changer. Bench racing is good. You know, when I was a kid, I used to run around with my cousins all the time, and in a town called Waverly. It's where my grandparents lived, and Dusty can attest to this. Every Friday and Saturday night, they cruised. But then we would stand in Big Bear, which was a grocery store, in the parking lot, and everybody would bench race. And I would go back to school and talk about, what did you do Saturday? I was like, I went bench racing. And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, where we just talked about racing. Nobody did any racing, but we just talked about racing. So, yeah, bench racing's fun. It's all good. But we did a lot of that as a kid. A lot of cruising. Witnessed a lot of drag racing. Illegal drag racing as a kid. Not me. I'm not a rule breaker. Dusty can tell you that. I don't like to break the rules. I don't want any chance of me getting in trouble and getting arrested. But I watched quite a few drag races between guys that thought their cars were fast. And they would get crushed by guys who had fast cars. Chris Neal, you're changing your road course layout to Carrera. That's cool. Brad Sanders, I tell you what, I thought motorcycles were expensive, and they are, but the slot car thing, there is no end. The list is endless. Brad, you're right. Like Tire Truer, like it's just like the tools. A nice soldering iron. Like for me, it was like cameras and tripod and lighting and things to do the YouTube channel, right? Just for the slot cars. The slot cars themselves, the track, the borders, the power supply, the tachometer, the laser tachometer. Yeah. But my wife knows where I'm at. I'm always in the basement. I'm not buying a bunch of bourbon like my brother. So it's all good. But yeah, you're right, Brad. It does add up. Let's see. Steve, Dusty, I would rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. Tell me about it. I was planning to retire early. I made the mistake of buying a Carrera track a few years ago. Ironton was great for cruising back in the day. Go to Ashland to drag race. Chris Neal, explained back in the day, because I did my fair share of cruising in Ironton. That's where my cousins grew up. They lived in Coalgrove, and we would always meet in Waverly because that's where my grandparents lived. But we did a lot of cruising in Ironton, and you would go to Ashland to drag race. Yes. So was this mid 80s, late 80s? We were probably there, but I'm probably older than you. So, all All right, guys, this has been fun. I don't want to waste your time. Your time is precious. But this has been a great conversation as always. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified anytime I go live or anytime I put out new content. What would you like to see? What kind of content would you like to see? We've got a lot of people putting out a lot of great content right now. And that's exciting for the hobby. I just hope that it's not just exciting for the people who are already in the hobby, that we have the opportunity to bring more and more people in. And that starts with just inviting people over to race such a track. And when they walk in your club, being inviting and welcoming and helping people. I think it all starts there. And if we continue to be kind and do nice things for people and have fun and make this enjoyable, then there will be a lot of people come to this hobby. And that's my goal, is I just want to provide content for people who are beginners that are jumping in, so it's less intimidating, because any form of racing can be intimidating, from slot cars to RC cars to real cars, right? Or any racing anything. There are people who take it super, super serious, and there's place for that, and there's no problem with that. I have no problem with people who are serious racers, but I think that we have an opportunity to expand the hobby by just helping people. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are trying to do the same thing. And I just appreciate it. I really do. Hey, Zoe, thanks, man. Grandson of man, appreciate it. Billy, thanks. Daryl, Steven, appreciate it, guys. Chris, late 80s, early 90s. My family is from Ironton, Neal Avenue. It's named for my family. Chris, that's awesome. My cousins' names were Bickers, Greg and Ronnie, and my cousin Lena. They were Colgrove, but we hung out in Ironton all the time because it's pretty much right there next to Ironton. But yeah, good stuff. But the same time, we were down there at the same time. I would drive my Maverick down there and cruise around with my cousins. Good time. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you, and have a great week. And we'll see you next Tuesday. And some of you, I'll see you Thursday night if you're at Cincy Slots doing some racing. So take care. Go have some fun racing.